A man is facing charges for entering a Monroe Walmart with several guns and a bulletproof vest. Moha Estep is being charged with going armed to the terror of the people. But what does that mean?
Our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, back with us this morning to answer this question. This is an interesting situation here. So let's help with the picture of a person goes into a Walmart. It's different than when just, hey, I'm allowed to carry maybe a firearm. I mean, he's got a vest on. He's armed with an AR-15.
Pistol.
Alarming.
Pistol.
Very
it's alarming, right? And so where's that fine line of what are you allowed to walk into a store carrying? And if you alarm someone else and scare them, how does that work?
Well, you hit it right on the nail. And so it's a couple of things. We have a number of crossroads in this country. The biggest thing sitting, I would say, smack dead in the middle is the Constitution, the Second Amendment, having the right to bear arms. And so everyone has a constitutional right, unless you have a felony where you've lost that right, to bear arms. And so then you have various ways in a number of states that, can maneuver how that looks. You either have need a concealed carry permit to carry it on your person in a concealed capacity, or you can have an open carry. North Carolina is an open carry state. So that's the first portion of it. You have a right, a constitutional right, and then your state can dictate the manner in which you carry it. However, on private property, a private individual or a private business can limit the type of carry that you do on their property or limit your carrying at all. And so in Walmart, years ago, Walmart used to sell firearms, used to sell ammunition, and in the wake of a lot of these shootings, they kind of rolled back selling the firearms, rolled back selling ammunition in certain locations, and also started posting these signs of no carrying on our locations, or at least encouraging individuals not to carry on those locations. I remember going into Walmart years ago, and there would be guys walking in with their kids getting ready to go hunting. Those times have now changed, and so because they've had this posted notice of you not carrying on that property, that's already one red flag. Coupled with if now you're intending on terrorizing someone, either walking in a manner that looks threatening, or attempting to pretend to holster or unholster your firearm, a number of variations that could put an individual in a place of terror. But it has to be a genuine terror or fear. It can't just be I saw you walking with a gun down the street where you're lawfully able to walk and now you've terrorized me. It has to be something that's a legitimate threat.
Well, and we heard those concerns on the 911 calls, but this is a really unique charge. It's just a misdemeanor.
It is. It's just a misdemeanor, and it's coupled in with all of those other type of charges that you would assume in North Carolina or in most places: disorderly conduct, some type of rioting charge, ways that police can have an opportunity to maintain and keep control. And so while we do have that delicate balance of trying to figure out how we ensure that a person's rights to carry aren't trampled on, we still want to ensure that people feel protected and safe in their community. I listened to the 911 calls. People were terrified. They were scared, but this is in a very heightened environment with shootings that are happening across the country and across the world. I mean, just had the shooting in Russia. You just had a shooting a few months ago in a number of other places across the country.
So you get why people have that gut feeling if they see that in a public place.
I just went to a forum with teens about teen violence. City Councilwoman Brown hosted this, and they talked about, one of the students said she mentioned the shooting at UNC Charlotte. She mentioned the shooting at University, Duke University. And so you have these shootings that happen, and these kids are watching, and they are mentioning that the traumatic and the fear that it instills on them. As an adults, we're all in the same position. So that 911 tape allowed us all to think of those same types of fears, but we also have to balance a person's constitutional rights. And so I'm sure his attorneys will say, listen, he had no intent to terrorize anyone. That would be the argument. If that plays out, we'll see.